Hey everybody. So this tree here, it is time to take the wire off. I've had the wire in here for a couple of months now, and out here in Florida the trees grow really fast. So I'm going to take the wire off before it gets too dug into the branches, so that so I don't damage the progress that I've gotten so far on this. This is cutting from one of my other trees. I planted it last year in this little training pot to get some roots on it. It is growing really well. I like how it's starting to take shape. The trunk kind of goes at an angle, so I kind of like that, and it's got a lot of shape to it. I don't know if I'm going to keep all of these branches in the final composition of it, but for now I'm leaving them on there to give the tree some strength, so that it will continue to grow rather rapidly for the size of the tree, so that we can get some larger branches, some more ramification on it, and so that it could start looking more like a bonsai tree rather than just a piece of nursery stock that you would find at a nursery. You saw how I had all my cuttings sitting out there on that table there. That's all my cuttings from last year. To start them off in the greenhouse here, we've got the trays. I've showed those in other videos also. And once they get some roots on them, then I'll put them in a pot like either this size or the smaller size that I have out there, and I'll let them grow out a little bit to where they start growing roots at the bottom, or until you can feel the roots in the pot. This pot's pretty solid, so it's got a substantial amount of roots in here. Distracted there for a minute. So anyway, I was thinking about repotting it. It is not springtime right now. It is going into fall. Actually, fall was a couple of days ago was the first day of fall, so it's starting to cool down out here a little bit. It's still 100 degrees in the greenhouse right now, and roosters are all talking to me. So anyway, so I don't know if I will repot this. I don't think I will. I don't want to kill it. It's coming along really nicely. I think I like the angle of it too, though, so I think I'll probably chop it off somewhere around in this area, keep it kind of more compact for now. I might just let these run so I can get this branch a little bit thicker, make the top of the tree, and maybe make the top of the tree come out this way a little bit over this space. I'm not quite sure yet. I think I might just let it grow for the winter time, or not grow, because generally they kind of stop growing during the winter time. So yeah, I'll probably just leave it until springtime. But I do need to take the wire off because the wire is digging in. I did a wire removal video. I think it was my last video, so I won't go over all that information again because put it in the last video. So I'm just taking the wire off of this tree, trying to decide what kind of styling I want to do with it. I do this periodically as I go through my garden out there. I look at all my trees and just see what's going on with them, and see how they're reacting or reacting to work that I've done, and then I can know if I'm doing the right thing or screwing up. Because obviously, if you've done bonsai more than a couple of years, you know you're going to screw up. So, just still kind of experimenting with some stuff with my trees. I want to get really good at this and really know what I'm doing, and not kill as many trees, because trees can be really expensive. A lot of my trees currently are from cuttings from other trees that I have already. So it's not a huge big deal if I lose some of them. At this point, I would be pretty disappointed at losing this tree, because this tree's almost 2 years in the making. So 2 years is not an extremely long time, but I mean it's long enough that it's disappointing if you ruin it. So I don't really want to ruin this tree by repotting it too soon, or cutting it back too far or anything like that. So just kind of unwrapping the wire, and then I can put this one back out, let it grow some more this year. I think I will trim back a couple of these leaders, because some of these branches I don't want to get longer. The top branch I do want to let this one get longer, but this one's as thick right here as this one, so I'm going to cut this one back so this one won't grow as fast as this one, so this one can gain some more vigor, and this one will slow down a little bit. So I'm going to cut this one back. I'm going to cut it back as it's turning up, because they'll all want to be the top of the tree, so they'll all turn up. Like you can tell they're all facing in an upward direction, all the ends of it. And typically in bonsai you want the branches to kind of stick out and then go up at the tips, because that's how they naturally grow. So we'll go ahead and cut this one off just as it's starting to go up here. And I want to cut it at a branch that is facing outward, which is this one, so that it can grow outward some more instead of just growing straight up. Because like this branch right here is growing on the top of the branch, and or kind of on the top of the branch, and it's going upward, so I'm going to take that one off. And that makes it just look more clean and natural. Cutting the branches off the bottom on there. And I think I'll trim up a couple more of these that are growing straight up here, so that it doesn't look crazy. Trim them back a little bit. And being that it is fall, trimming this back a little bit isn't going to hurt it. These are a tree that does really well in cold weather. They're it's the Juniper chinensis. I'm going to just trim some of this up, because some of it's touching each other, and that keeps it from growing as well. It blocks oxygen and carbon dioxide, or blocks the carbon dioxide from getting into the branches, and it blocks the oxygen from leaving the branches. So you need that exchange for the tree to be able to breathe. It's like putting a plastic bag over your face. Not having space in your tree makes them not be able to breathe, so you don't want that. Really, I could wire this branch down again where it sits way down here. I'm just not sure if I like it that far down like that. Might actually trim this one off. This one's growing like straight up here. It's kind of fun cutting your tree and shaping it and styling it, and then going back once it started growing again and be like, why did I do that? You know, why did I let that branch grow straight up, or why did I why did I put that branch in that spot there, or whatever. But I think it's kind of interesting to go back and look and try to remember what I was thinking that day, but generally I don't remember what I was thinking that day. So anyway, I'm going to cut back some of these downward facing shoots. Cut some of the tips off, let it get a little bit, let the pads get a little bit thicker and more dense. I don't want to trim a whole lot off, because I want it to still grow the rest of the season, and then wintertime comes along and I'll put it in the greenhouse and let it just go dormant, and then springtime put it back outside and probably wire it, repot it, and then put it outside again. So I'll leave it outside during the winter time. I don't know why I said I'd put it in the greenhouse. I leave these outside during the winter time. They're a cold weather tree, like I said, so they can get down into the 20s. Even in a pot this size, they can get down into the 20s and do just fine. One of these days I'll do a watering video on winter watering, but it's not as big a deal here in Florida because we don't generally have freezing weather where I'm at, so it doesn't really matter, I guess, when I water them. As long as I'm not over watering them during the wintertime, it doesn't really affect them adversely to water them. If you're in a colder situation, it does, but like I said, I'll do a video on that at some other point, and I'll have a couple more trees to show you at that point too, so be looking forward to that one. Do I take this branch off? I'm going to take this branch off. A lot of times I'll hold my trees out away from me. I hope this is still in frame, but I'll hold them out in front of me farther so I can look at the whole tree. See what's going on. As of right now, I think that's good for now. I'm gonna just leave it like that. I did clear out some of the weeds. We've been getting a lot of rain lately, so I haven't been taking the weeds out of the pots with potting soil because this has got potting soil in it. It's not bonsai soil yet. I've been taking or leaving the weeds in there so that they'll soak up some of the water also, so that they don't get overwatered. Because I've had a couple of trees this year get overwatered because of the rain, and I don't want that. So I'm trying to get this weed out though, because it's growing in moss here. Might just take some moss with it. That's okay. There we go. Got that crazy little thing out, and then the moss will recover pretty quick. You can kind of spread it out too, where the hole kind of goes away, and then it'll fill in. If it's healthy moss, it'll fill back in right there. Eventually I'll make sure and get it away from the trunk here. I'll just scrape it a little bit, make sure it's not growing on the trunk, because you don't want it to grow on the trunk, because it'll kind of eat the trunk actually, because the moss is a living creature, or a living plant creature, whatever you want to call it. So it will eat the bark on the tree if you let it grow onto the bark of the tree. So let's take it off in there. It is getting some cracks in the bark, which is really cool. That means that the tree is growing. It's growing relatively quickly, which is good. It's nice when your trees are growing healthy. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.